One of the things I love about Las Vegas is it's always changing. There's always things new coming to the city whenever you come. And so in this video, I'm going to talk to you about all of the new things that have opened in Las Vegas in the past year and all of the new things that are coming in 2024. We'll talk about hotels, casinos, restaurants, attractions, sports, shows, and more. All right, let's go. There's been a lot of new things coming to Vegas in 2023, but the newest right here at the turn of the year is the new Fontainebleau Hotel. This 60-plus story hotel has been under construction for 23 years. That's right. It is finally open with over 3,000 rooms, and now it is the tallest inhabitable building in Las Vegas. It is a pretty nice hotel. I've been staying here during this trip. If you want to see more about it, you can check out my full hotel review and walkthrough of it, but it's just a bit of classic Vegas back again, and overall should be pretty good. Still things that they're building out here, like, you know, not all of the shops are open and the pool deck is not open, so it's still kind of in a soft opening phase, but overall pretty neat to walk through. Neat lobby bar there in the middle, and oh, there's a cool food court over there too. Now the Mirage Hotel, it won't be with us all that much longer. It's been purchased by the Seminole Band Native American tribe. They're planning to rebrand it the Hard Rock Las Vegas and build a 700-foot tall guitar-shaped tower in the place where the volcano is. So if you want to see the volcano or you want to see the Mirage, pay your respects to it soon. The volcano was not operating during F1, but eruptions have resumed in December when the Super Bowl is here. It's going to be like the Paramount Mountain that they have in there. But, you know, I saw it just yesterday, and it might be one of the last times I see it, so you should do the same when you come out here. Inside, some of the things that are gone: the white tigers, gone; dolphins, gone; and the topless pool, no longer topless. Bally's has completed this rebrand to the Horseshoe, which is bringing a lot of new development to the property. In particular, out front, Old Red is already starting to come up, and then Bottled Blonde will open next to it in 2025. Inside, like, they're definitely trying to like cater to kind of like a country western theme, like country music playing as you come down the escalator. They're also trying to cater to families. They have a new arcade and they have a new dinosaur adventure as well. But what's also interesting is that Bally's had 2 towers. Only one of the towers is rebranded Horseshoe. The other tower, you can still kind of see Bally's, but they took off the sign, but you can see where the letters were. That's actually going to become part of the Paris Hotel, and they're going to build a bridge between the other Paris tower and that tower, and they're going to add balconies on it, so they'll have some expensive premium rooms that face the Bellagio fountains. I have to assume that for Caesars, that owns these properties, that Paris must be a brand that does better for them than Bally's / Horseshoe, or that they can at least sell higher room rates for. And what used to be a Buca di Beppo with a really cheap all-you-can-eat pasta buffet is now a Jack Binion's steak. All right, now let's talk about what's new at Resorts World. This used to be the newest hotel before Fontainebleau. Just a couple of years ago, this place opened, and you know, they're still kind of trying to figure things out here too, I feel like, but their food court continues to do as well as ever, this Asian-inspired food court. They've got some new non-Asian eats. They've got a fish and chip spot, and they've got a Mexican taco shop now. Over in the district, which is the shopping mall, there's a new outlet of Lady M Cakes, which makes these really delicious crepe cakes. What do I like here? I like the Hawken noodles from Goggle Man. Not new, they've been here since they opened, but these are some of my favorites, along with the Char Kway Teow. Oh, and if you like desserts, in the middle of the food court back here, this kind of like sweet thing that has the Hello Kitty that goes around. It used to be like a candy store, but now they serve crepes. Now there's a whole bunch of new restaurants and bars that I'm not going to mention at Resorts World. You'll just have to come and check them out. But one that I will mention is this Golden Monkey Tiki Lounge, because this place is just so bizarre looking. It is themed for Christmas right now, but there's these monkeys and statues and surfboards, and this lounge is pretty wild. Now over at the Bellagio, they've completed an entire remodel of all of their guest rooms. If you've been putting off staying at the Bellagio because you're like, that place is old, it is tired, let me tell you, their rooms are really quite nice. We had the opportunity to stay in one last year when we came, and we paid a little bit more to get a remodeled room then, but now all of them are remodeled, so you'll enjoy those rooms. Also, one kind of like, I guess, negative change here at the Bellagio, due to the F1 races that were here, they had to cut down a number of the trees that were in front of the lake. They've kind of like replanted them, but now you'll see all of the trees are like small baby trees. Out in front of Caesar's Palace, they've significantly upgraded their fountains. They spent about $1 billion upgrading the 3 fountains that are right in front of the main valet entry. Makes for some great pictures from the Strip. They even upgraded this fountain in front of the Shrine of the Four-Faced Brahma. By the way, this is kind of a hidden gem at Caesar's Palace. Most people don't even know this is here. This is a replica of a shrine in Bangkok, Thailand. And they've also refurbished the fountain that is in the valet drive itself, though it's kind of an awkward spot because to see it, you kind of have to come where the cars drive. Although I guess maybe you'll see it if you're, taking a taxi and heading out of Caesar's that way. Now, heading inside Caesar's Palace, there's a couple of new restaurants, one in the food court. It's called Chicken Guy, and this is an interesting collaboration between Guy Fieri and the owner of Earl of Sandwich. So, 2 chefs that I like. Their special is the fried chicken sandwich right here with some special sauce, some tomatoes, some coleslaw. I've also got the mac and cheese. They've got chicken tenders. Let's give this a go. It's got 2 tenders on it. It's a good, juicy tender. Maybe in the next bite, we got the comeback sauce, or the special sauce as they call it. Every one of these chicken restaurants has a different name for their sauce. Good sandwich. Price-wise, so you know, chicken sandwich, $15. The mac and cheese, $7.99. Fountain soda at Caesar's Palace here, $5.99. This got free refills. Mac and cheese, pretty solid. At Caesar's Palace, I also noticed more of these 7 stars priority lines at the quick serve restaurants. This used to be a hallmark of the front desk check-in. If you're an elite member, bypass the long check-in line, but now you'll find it in the fast food restaurants. Ostensibly, if the line is too long, you can flash your card and go right to the front. Now, another restaurant that I'm really excited for opening at Caesar's Palace is Peter Luger. This is considered New York City's best steakhouse, been open for 130 years in New York, now in Caesar's Palace. In addition to their steak, they're also famous for their bacon appetizer, 3 slices of thick cut bacon, $24.95. Definitely get the bacon in addition to the steak. You'll find this right next to the Bacchanal Buffet, and in between the two, there's a new kind of circular bar that has video poker and sports games on it. No doubt so you can get something to drink while you're waiting for your reservation. And on the gaming front at Caesar's Palace, the death of table games and dealers continues. They've got craps, blackjack, roulette, all of these machines without any humans behind them. But they sure do look pretty. Now, on kind of a cool note at the Paris, they have a new bar at the foot of the Eiffel Tower. It's called the Arc Bar. You can get a margarita in a Eiffel Tower souvenir cup, $34.99. But it'll look pretty cool as you walk down the strip drinking your margarita out of an Eiffel Tower, right? And yes, the death of table games continues over the Paris Hotel too. Look, they put in this multi-betting thing on blackjack and roulette where they could have people up there at the front, but they don't. Instead, it's just robots spinning that roulette wheel. Over at the Venetian, the Palazzo, they recently announced they're going to be spending $1 billion on a renovation. Yes, that's billion with a B, so look forward to a lot of upcoming refreshments and changes over here. They've recently ended their Streetmosphere program in the Grand Canal shops. That's where they have like performers and mimes and those sorts of things. But on a plus side, they do still have their singing gondoliers, so you can listen to them. And on kind of a mad note, the Venetian has joined the trend of charging for parking. It is $18 a day for hotel guests. And if you're not a hotel guest, it's similar on weekdays, but on the weekends, then you have to pay a little bit more. Free parking is just going to be a thing of the past pretty soon on the whole strip, sadly. In the Grand Canal shops over by the parking garage entrance, there's a new tipsy robot. How's this work? Well, you order from one of these tablets over here, and the robots make your drinks. And even Circus has got in on the new act. What's new at Circus? New paint on the big top, an even brighter shade of pink. What's it like inside? Same as you probably remember it like 40 years ago. Though, pro tip, Circus still has free parking but not up here at front. If you want to park in this lot, this is now a pay parking lot that you pay with your mobile app right by phone. But I am really happy to see that the slot machine carousel is working once again. That was always one of my favorite parts of the Circus. Circus has been broken for a long time. And in case you're wondering, yes, Circus still has their famous midway shows every hour on the half hour. And one cool thing that said Circus still is it's the only game in town that still uses coins. They're $1 tokens, but coins nonetheless. That's pretty cool. And I just love to hear the sound of these things going chink, 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 chink. All right, and I put $10 in the coin slots at Circus, feeling like old Vegas. What did I win? Nothing. At the Aria Hotel, the buffet is out and a food hall is in. In the former buffet space, there's now a food hall called Proper Eat. It has a number of different eating establishments, and the way you order is not at each one, but there's some computer screens, just like at Resorts World you can order from, or they've got QR codes at your table, you can order from there. You get a text when your food is ready to pick up. What can you eat in here? There's an egg sandwich spot, there's a deli, there's a Korean fried chicken sandwich place, there's a pizza spot, there's a burger spot, there's a ramen spot. Of course, there is a sushi bar, and of course, there's an actual bar. It wouldn't be Vegas if there wasn't an actual bar. And then finally, there's a Mediterranean kind of kebab spot. Overall, looks like some pretty tasty eats, and it's kind of a neat, like moody vibe that they've created in here. Although I will say I still do miss buffets. You know, when I was over at the Paris earlier, their buffet spot, still empty, not reopened, nothing in there. I'll keep my fingers crossed the Paris buffet comes back, but I'm not keeping hope alive that much. The Cosmopolitan, which has been owned by MGM for the past 2 years now, was supposed to switch their rewards program to MGM this year, but well, that's been delayed, likely due to the cyber attacks that MGM suffered earlier this year. No new date's been announced when Cosmopolitan will be fully integrated into M Life. Now, the Cosmopolitan is home to one of my Vegas buffets, but do note they're only operating for breakfast and lunch. Another Vegas change, either no buffets, closed buffets, or buffets that are open odd hours. So check the hours of the place you want to eat and make sure they're open when you actually want to go. Because why isn't the buffet open for dinner? Do people not want to eat at dinner? I don't really get it. There's a fancy new walkway that connects the Vdara to the Cosmopolitan and the Bellagio. This has been a long time coming because these places are all really close to each other but have never been connected. There's the Cosmopolitan down that way, and there's the Bellagio down that way. You'll find the signs in the buildings, or from the Vdara, it's just right from the lobby next to a Starbucks. You can come down it. It's also really close to get to the Aria now too, because you can just walk outside from Vdara to the Aria. Oh, and if you're looking for this from the Bellagio side, it's just past the entrance to the tram to the Aria. So this is the tram to the Aria. Down this hallway is the walkway to the Vdara and the Cosmo. All right, now let's talk about some of the new things to the hotels off the Strip. First, the Rio. It is under new ownership, no longer owned by Caesars. The new company is investing $350 million in overhauling this property, so lots of new things to come. Although right now, we're kind of in a state of transition. So here where the show used to be in front of the Rio stage, the slot machines here, they say no data on them and they're roofed off and you can't use them because they're building new ones. But over back here where the buffet used to be, and by the way, this used to be one of Vegas's most amazing buffets. Alas, no more, because the trend, buffets are out, food courts are in, they're building a new food court. It'll open in January of 2024. I'm really excited for Tony Luke's, which is a cheesesteak place from Philadelphia, so I need to come back here after January so I can get me one of those cheesesteaks. But I'm really looking forward to these upgrades at the Rio because it's sorely needed it for a long time. This has been one neglected property. Okay, now quite the opposite from Rio, the Durango resort that I'm at right now, primarily designed as a locals hotel, big, nice casino, really amazing food hall, a cool sports book, a bunch of restaurants, one called Summer House that has a cookie bar, and yes, it has a hotel too. And the hotel check-in section, really whole different vibe from the casino, but overall, this is a really nice place, and so I can see why so many locals like it here. Also, free parking in this whole place makes it easy to get to, easy to come, easy to put a few dollars in the machine or get a bite to eat and then get on your way. Now, if you are gonna check out the food hall, a couple notable spots. Irv's Burgers had a long line. the pizza place. Prince Street Pizza is pizza from New York City, and yes, they make some really delicious pizza. There was a really neat oyster bar, some noodle spots, so overall the food here looked really quite tasty. All right, now let's talk about some of the hotels that are currently under construction or under development, and definitely like a hub for development right now is this intersection of Harmon and Las Vegas Boulevard across from the city center. In particular, there's a hotel being planned for where the Tex-Mex restaurant is or closing, and where the Travel Lodge used to be that's now gone. That's gonna be a 40-story casino resort tower brought to us by the owners of the Golden Nugget in downtown Las Vegas. Now, just right next to that parcel where the Cable Center shops used to be and the Hawaiian Marketplace used to be, there's a new development in the works. It's called BLVD. I'm guessing you'd pronounce that Boulevard, but you can keep your eyes on the development there too. And a little further down the strip across from Mandalay Bay, the Dream Hotel continues to be under construction. This is gonna be a smaller boutique hotel casino with about 450 rooms. Okay, enough about the big hotels and casinos. Let's talk about food. I'm at a restaurant that I've been really excited about opening in Vegas, Zippy's from Hawaii. This is a Hawaiian-style diner. This is their first location in the mainland of the USA. It's about 5 miles off the Las Vegas Strip, and what you'll find here are a ton of down-home Hawaiian plate lunches. What's a plate lunch? Well, comes on a plate, typically with some kind of protein, a couple scoops of rice. Today I am here on Christmas Eve, and so I had the holiday special, which is turkey with some brown sauce, 2 scoops of rice, and some corn. They have many of their other Hawaiian specials, which include Korean fried chicken, Spam. They're open for breakfast, they're open late till dinner, and since it is a Hawaiian diner, you're gonna find salt, pepper, and a big thing of sugar, but you will also find Aloha soy sauce. This is the soy sauce from Hawaii. What do you do with this soy sauce? You put this soy sauce on your rice right there, and you notice these like piles of rice there with an ice cream scoop, because that's how you do it in Hawaii. Vegas is often known as the 9th island because there's so many Hawaiians that have moved from Hawaii to Vegas. It's actually the #1 destination for people to leave Hawaii for. So if you're looking for some Hawaiian food, check this place out. To eat in, it is definitely this diner Denny's kind of vibe. They do not have the fast food sit-down place like many of the locations in Hawaii do. They do have a takeout section and they do have the bakery section, but if you want to eat in, then it is served by a server and you got to order from the menu. The menu is also not as big as the one in Hawaii, but there's a little note on it that says they're working on adding more items by the day. So let's go ahead and dive into this turkey. Wow, it's tender. I don't need to use the knife. Oh, it's got some stuffing down underneath it too. Fresh, delicious. This plate, about $19. All right, in burger news, it's dark here, but this will be quick. In burger news, Gordon Ramsay's Burger Bar is gonna replace the Bird Bar at the Flamingo. Yes, and Gordon Ramsay's Burger Bar coming from Planet Hollywood. This will be their second location. It's gonna have some strip outside patio seating. Expect to see that later this year. This spot that used to be Bobby's Burger Palace at the foot of the Mandarin Oriental is becoming Whataburger, the famous burger chain from Texas. It's also gonna share a spot with Parry's Pizza, a New York-style pizza place from Colorado, coming in 2024. All right, let's talk about what's new in shopping in Las Vegas, and probably the #1 new thing is Project 63 is finally open. What's Project 63? It is this shopping mall between the Cosmopolitan and the Crystal Shops and Aria. It's a pretty small parcel, but it's got a Museum of Illusions in it, which is kind of like one of those like selfie sort of museums, and it's got an outpost of Ross Dress for Less if you're looking for some cheap discount clothes because you forgot something or it's too cold and you didn't bring cold weather stuff. Ross is where it's at. There's also a few more stores here on the top level that look like they have yet to open, but check this out when you're heading between Cosmopolitan and the Aria. Over at the Planet Hollywood, they've recently completed a remodel of their Miracle Mile shops. Well, not all of it, but half of it they've made really look cool and sleek. They have retained some of the old Desert Passage shops that you see right here. Now, right in front of the Miracle Mile shops, where the old bar that used to have a mechanical bull that you could ride, that is gone, and Rosa Mexicana is in. They've also got a place over here where you can get some frozen margaritas to take with you onto the strip. And if you really like timeshare people, good news, the HDV timeshare sales folks, they are still right in the front of the entrance. Now over at the Miracle Mile shops, they have a new free show. It's in the Lost City, which is in the back by La Salsa and the V Theater. It's called the Lost City Show, every hour on the hour from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. Now, if you've been to Vegas before, you might know they've had a rain show. What about that? Under renovations. Maybe by the time you watch this, it might be open again. Oh, and I don't think this is new, but I've never noticed it before. There's a Mr. Fish spa. You know, if you've ever wanted to have your feet nibbled on by a fish, now you know where to go. Now we've talked about the new shopping developments. Now I just want to talk about a trend in shopping that I've noticed. Last year, when I made this guide, a lot of shops still closed due to the pandemic, hadn't opened. The shopping scene seems to be pretty vibrant in Vegas right now. Like, stores are open, there's not a bunch of things that are out of business, so it's great to see that people have come back and are putting their money where their feet are instead of all of it on Amazon so that brick and mortar stores can stay in business. Thank you to all of you that support these stores. I've been talking about the Sphere for a long time in these updates, and it is finally open. Previously called the MSG Sphere, now just the Sphere. This is the new concert venue that is this entire dome that has lights on the outside, it has lights on the inside. U2 is the headlining act for the Sphere. More and more keep signing every week. It seems like Phish has announced 4 dates here in 2024. In addition to concerts, they also have a Sphere show or a movie that you can go watch in the Sphere, because the concert tickets can be quite expensive. If you just want to go in and see the Sphere, the tickets for that are starting at $69.95 to go see the roughly 1 hour show. If you do go see that, doors open 1 hour before the show so that you can go in and see the immersive experience before, where you can like talk to robots and do some things like that. Or if you don't get to go inside to see it and you're looking for the best place to actually just look at it from the outside along the Strip, that's going to be right between the Palazzo and the Wynn Hotel on the bridge right here. That's where you'll get your best peak views of the Sphere. All right, let's talk about sports. F1 Racing arrived to the Las Vegas Strip in 2021. Their contract is for at least 3 years, so you'll see it here for at least a couple more years. They have options to be here for at least 10. If you want to come for F1 Racing, you'll find that every year for the next few in November. And there were a lot of complaints setting up for this one's F1 race that like they really destroyed the Strip and the traffic was awful. The good news is that when F1's not here, all of that stuff is gone. All of that stuff is temporary. So if you've heard things about F1 destroying the Strip, I'm here to tell you the Strip is just fine once again. The other big sporting event coming to Vegas in 2024 is the Super Bowl over at Allegiant Stadium. That's sure to be an amazing game. The Tropicana's days are numbered. It is going to be replaced by a baseball stadium for the Oakland A's. When is that going to be? The stadium should be ready in 2028, so your guess is as good as mine how long the Tropicana is still going to be here. Now, on a much smaller scale than the ballpark, at Mandalay Bay, they're building a new mini golf course. It's not just any new mini golf course. They're spending $50 million on this mini golf course. It's going to be an adults-only mini golf course taking over the former Light nightclub space. When this opens in 2024, it's going to be pretty wild. Inside the Great Pyramid of the Luxor, coming soon, you're going to find Play Playground. What's Play Playground? It's a playground entirely for adults. So think of a kid's indoor playground, except it's all for bigger kids. You'll find this on the bridge to the Mandalay Bay, right over that way. Hey, and before I get to some of the positive and negative trends I'm seeing in Las Vegas for 2024, I want to share with you something new that I've been working on for Las Vegas. And so many people ask me if I can show them around, and there's only so much of Chris, but what I'm really excited to have released last year was a driving audio tour of Las Vegas. Whether it's your first time or your 10th time, I'd love to join you in your car for a 90-minute narrated tour of Las Vegas, how it was started by the Mormons, the mob, and the mafia. That's right, if you're interested in taking that tour, I'll put a link in the description below, and I'll see you, or I'll talk to you in your car. So now I want to talk about some of the trends I'm seeing in Las Vegas. And the first one, and it's really noticeable, is the increased police and security presence all over the strip. And you know, there's always been security in hotels, but they generally used to try to blend in. Now they stand out. They've hired like the contract security guards that wear the yellow outfits to make sure that you see them standing out in front, standing by the doors. The same with the police. There's the Las Vegas Police Department. They're all over the strip. They're in the casinos. They're parked on the side of the strip. They want you to see them too. It is definitely a show of force when it comes to police and security. No doubt as a response to the brawls and fights of the past, they want you, when you're visiting, to see that they are there. While water features and fountains have been a hallmark of Vegas, a lot of them are going away. In particular here at the New York, in front of the Statue of Liberty, there used to be water underneath Statue of Liberty, like it is in New York, but instead the water here has been replaced with water-saving AstroTurf. And across the street at the Excalibur, where there was once water in the moat, it's now empty. How are they gonna fill it full of sharks and crocodiles to protect the castle now? Another trend you're gonna see is increasing parking prices and doing away with free parking. Particularly at MGM properties, they've just announced a parking price increase. It's now $18 on weekdays, $23 on weekends. The 4-hour rate that they used to have if you were there for 1 to 4 hours, that is no more. Over the wit of the Encore, also they've been free parking for a long time. They've started charging for parking too, although they do give free parking for the first 3 hours. Where are you gonna find free parking still on the Strip? The only hotels that have free parking are the Tropicana, while it's still here, the Treasure Island, the Sahara, and the Circus. Even the Strat is now charging for parking. Really. And now while some people report that Resorts World is now charging for parking, it's only partially true. They charge for parking if you are not a member of their Players Club. To get free parking, all you have to do is come in and join the Players Club, and it's free. So, +1 for Resorts World with still mostly free parking. Now, another new trend I'm seeing on the Strip is a different type of paid photo opportunity. There are still the showgirls and the people dressed up as characters, but now there are people who are bringing these 360 photo turntables. The way these work is you stand in the middle of it, they got this thing that rotates around you that you put your cell phone in, and it makes kind of cool 360 videos. I find it so interesting that they lug these gigantic powered things out to the Strip. And it's kind of cool to get a 360 video out in front of Caesar's Palace. So, of course, just know that that's not a free service. That's not a service of the hotel. Those are like people that are enterprising business people that bring those there to make a few bucks for you to get that 360 video. Another trend on the Las Vegas Strip is more street performers. I've seen more people out here doing shows than ever. Now, these two guys right here, they got a little bucket in front of them that says start the show. Ostensibly, you put some money in and then the show starts. And every time people put money in, I see them do this. And there's a large group of people out here waiting for the show to start. And I don't know how much money you need to put in that bucket to actually get the show to start. So these guys were probably my favorite performers, playing the harp up there. Now, at MGM Resorts, which also owns Bellagio, they're phasing out $1 roulette chips. At many of their Strip casinos, you can no longer buy $1 chips at the roulette table. The minimum is now $2. More of the story, they want you to bet twice as much. Oh, and speaking of MGM Resorts, for the past few years, they've been partnered with Hyatt. So if you stayed at MGM hotels, you could earn Hyatt points. You could also match your elite status between Hyatt and MGM. Well, they've recently announced that they're ending the Hyatt partnership and they're beginning a partnership with Marriott. So if you're a Marriott elite, good for you. You'll have perks at MGM hotels. If you're a Hyatt elite, sorry, that's till last year. And the last thing to know is I've got even more videos on Las Vegas. I've got some of my favorites up here on the screen. You'll also find links in the description below. Tap or click on any of these, and as usual, I won't say goodbye because I'll see you in the next video.